Hello, everyone. My name is Mark Frasco. This is Business Builders. Thank you for tuning in. This is episode 4. Timing is everything. How many times has this happened to you? You walk into a buying influences office, you build meaningful rapport, you make the pitch for your product and service, you learn a little bit more about their particular needs. And at the end of the interview, the buying influence says to you, boy, I wish you were here 3 months ago or 6 months ago. We just let a very large contract to someone else. But what you're saying is something I definitely would have pursued if I'd known about you back then. I'm embarrassed to tell you this has happened a number of times to me over my career. Therefore, I began to think about timing and how timing is one of the biggest obstacles, if you will, to business growth. Assuming that your organization is good at what they do, good quality, good service, support, then really all we're talking about is, are you at the right place at the right time with the right solution? Most organizations are pretty good at making a contact around the holidays. I've seen it happen where organizations towards October and November gather up all their business cards, build an Excel spreadsheet with the intention of sending out a Christmas card. I call it Christmas card marketing. Christmas card marketing really doesn't work. It's the noisiest time of the year. You kind of get lost in the shuffle. And besides that, we know that, buyer moods over time shift, from satisfied to dissatisfied, depending on the product or service that the buying influence is thinking about and whether or not the product is a quality product, the pricing is good, the service is good, they enjoy the relationship and support that they're getting from the organization. Their mood is going to shift over time. If you take a continuum of weeks or months or even quarters, and you think about a mood line, if you will, for a buying influence on a particular service or product that they're responsible for, their mood changes over time. Now imagine 500 buying influences or 1,000 buying influences, and those mood lines swinging up and down, depicting satisfaction or lack of satisfaction. If we knew exactly when a buying influence was going to become less satisfied, we would contact them just before that point, but we don't. And herein lies one of the biggest challenges for a professional salesperson, and that is being at the right place at the right time. In addition to timing, it's also important to note that every buying influence responds to different touches in different ways. Some buying influences look at their email, some don't. Some listen to voicemail, some don't, or answer their phones and don't. So it is important to consider the method or media that you use to make the contact for the various buying influences in your system. We've learned over the years in the B2B space, a 3 to 4 week frequency is pretty effective. Mixing that media, an email, a phone call, voicemail, direct mail piece, maybe a video, social post, maybe it's a project profile or white paper. The goal is every 3 or 4 weeks to make some quality interaction with your buying influence, your high-value target. This should eliminate that variable of timing, that has become the biggest obstacle to most of our sales growth efforts. Be consistent, be persistent, and never give up. In the fullness of time, you will hear from one of those buying influences, and they will say, I'm contacting you because you stayed in touch, even when I didn't respond and even when I didn't need anything. I hope this was useful. Thank you for tuning in and downloading Business Builders. If you have ideas for future podcasts or have comments, please email me at mark@businessbuilders.pro. Until next time, this is Mark Frasco reminding you, strategic growth is a daily discipline, not an as-needed activity.